Yo, welcome to All Things Covered with Patrick Peterson and Bryant McFadden, part of the CBS Sports Podcast Network. Man, the name says it all. If you're rocking with us, make sure you leave a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. And now you can leave us 5 stars on Spotify as well. Or if you're checking us out on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can get alert of all our great content right away. Now, let's get to our amazing show. Boom, 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 boom. First quarter, kick down the doors. Know what time it is. School, check in. National televised game, Monday night affair in your home jerseys, playing against your arch rival in Soldier Field. The Vikings take care of their business. A much needed win, 17-9. Pat P, how did it feel? Played 4 quarters of football, made a bad team look like a bad team, man. You look like you had some fun out there. How did it feel being able to get that huge, much needed win?
It was big, man. You know, like we talked about last week, these last couple of games are huge for us, you know, must-win games for us. So, you know, we're attacking it in that manner, you know, attention to details. It's a playoff game. You know what I mean? It's literally a 4-season playoff game week to week for us.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because at this point, if you lose, you know, you're going to be pretty much on the outside looking in. So, you know, for the most part, you know, if we can control and do the things that we need to do, that's in front of us, you know, I believe that we can end up being where we need to be. But all we have to do is just focus on us, focus on our assignments, focus on executing the game plan so we can, you know, accumulate those dubs.
Well, look here. How did y'all win a ball game when your starting quarterback only needed to throw for 87 yards?
Hey, man, you know, we didn't allow those guys to score. You know, I think they had 4 trips in the red zone.
Yes, sir.
1 for 3, I believe. 1 for 4, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. The last play was a touchdown. But other than that, creating, you know, a blocked field goal, creating 2 turnovers in the red zone, getting a turnover on downs.
Yep.
So defense played lights out, you know. So, you know, the offense, you know, didn't need to have that, you know, those explosive numbers that they've been having throughout the year. But you know, they did end up doing what they needed to do to, you know, sustain drives, to get first, and also ultimately, put points on the board.
Yeah, your defense was balling. And this is the defense that I thought I would see throughout the majority of the year. But because of injuries and other issues, you guys wasn't really able to have all your key contributors in the lineup, more than none. But now seeing everybody getting healthy at the most important time, now you're starting to play the type of Viking defense that we all thought you guys will play. And for you had a bit of a quiet game, didn't really see too much action until late in the fourth quarter. You know, they came on your side a little bit, some highly contested passes. But when you got in the red zone, you buckled down a little bit. You buckled down a lot. And take us through those sequence of plays in the red zone. You came up with you had a 3rd down stop? You had a 3rd down stop and a
Yeah.
Was it a second or third? What was it? You had back-to-back, I think.
It was 3rd and 4th.
Yeah. One was and both was in the end zone. One was on Jimmy Graham, one was on the other tight end. Take us through those plays.
You know, going into I can't remember how much time was on the clock.
Mm-hmm. They had no timeouts, matter of fact.
They had no timeouts. I know it was late, probably like 4 minutes left in the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So we're playing soft coverage, want to lead, keep everything in front of us, you know, not let them get out of bounds, you know, and obviously when we get to the red zone, make it hard on them. And that's what we did, you know. Yeah. Made those windows dirty for the quarterback, flushed them out of the pocket a couple of times, to force him to throw ill-advised throws, you know, rolling out, you know, that's tough for quarterbacks. So making his job a lot harder. So and that's something that we wanted to improve on. That's something that was a point of emphasis for us all week. You know, be great in the red zone, be good in the red zone. You know, don't let these guys score in the red zone. Defend every blade of the grass. That was literally a point of emphasis. And for the most part, I kid you not, that we ran more red zone reps than we ever had, you know, all season. And it paid off.
Yes, sir.
You know, with the results that we got Monday night.
Yeah, well, y'all need to continue to add that to the repertoire when it comes to repetition and getting things together. One of your key contributors, Eric Kendricks, got tossed out of the ball game and got ejected like a college player. Questionable play, you know, Justin Fields decided to slide. Eric kind of committed. Did you think that was deserving of getting tossed? And was the officiating a little out of hand Monday night?
I don't want to talk about the officiating crew, but
yeah.
I thought that definitely was out of hand.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. I can tell you this much.
In that game, right? They had with Justin Fields when he took the knee. I thought, from my assumption, like, I've never seen a play happen like that before, where a quarterback takes a snap, he's about to throw the ball, then he takes a knee.
Yeah.
But the whistle was blown. So the guy was like, all right, ain't no whistle blown. I still got to tackle him.
Yeah.
So all he did was, and he didn't, slam him on the ground. He just picked him up.
Oh, I know the play you're talking about. It was the personal foul.
Then the ref getting upset with us. It's like, calm down. Like, why we need to come? We're trying to explain to you that the whistle wasn't blown. That's Pop Warner. You played till the whistle was blown.
You played it, especially against that type of athlete.
Right. And they started looking at themselves like, oh, the whistle wasn't blown. But it's over now, dog, and play.
Yeah, it's over. Be careful what you say, Pat. They still touch the pockets if you can, if they can. So,
I don't think I offended anyone.
Yeah,
in the wrong way, but
no doubt. Yeah, but it was some questionable calls, and the Bears, they were just having all kind of mental lapse.
Oh man,
yeah, I don't know what they were going.
To fight, man.
Yeah, they wanted to fight. It's personal. I didn't realize that those two organizations really don't like each other like that. It's some bad blood.
Hey, listen, I got a taste of it last night, Jack.
Yeah, it's some bad blood. And the next time y'all see them, y'all get them right back there at the crib. So they got to come. They got to come.
That's all about, man. Division play. That's what it's all about, man. If ain't no bad blood, ain't no divisional game.
No question. All divisional games should have bad blood.
No doubt about it.
Keep it real. Yeah, I agree with you 110%. And other news coming from Minnesota, Bashaud Breeland got cut over the weekend. Tom Pelissero reported the Vikings waived starting quarterback Bashaud Breeland after he got into a verbal altercation at practice with coaches, took off his cleats, got into it with multiple teammates who were trying to calm the situation down. What is your perspective on what happened to your former starting corner opposite of you in Breeland?
Obviously unfortunate news that, Breeland got cut, from the squad. Obviously, he was one of us, one of the brothers, especially as a DB. You know how the DB group is, how the DB room is, one of the tightest groups on the team. So it was definitely sad to see him go. Don't want to get into the details or, what happened. You want to keep that, internal. All those reports out there, some of them are laughable, but
so basically some of them are not real.
Right. So for the most part, want to keep all that stuff internal, but it's something that upstairs felt like that's something that needed to happen. That's a decision obviously out of the players' hands. And all the players can do, all we can do right now is just prepare with the guys that we have. And I think it's a great opportunity for Cam to get in there to finally have 4 quarters of play to really show what he got to offer. Still a young player, still got a lot to prove. I feel like he's more than ready for it now that he don't have to look over his shoulder, on a snap count. So I think that can go into confidence building for him as well. So I'm excited to see how he responds to this.
And he responded well. He played good football Monday night. Caused the fumble. He was active. And one thing I want people to understand, as a corner, people will catch passes on you. It's going to happen. Right. But it's about competing and being right where you need to be when they catch the pass. Like every time. Go ahead, Pat.
Usually with fans too, or people in general, like when a corner playing off and give up a stop or a comeback, what is our responsibility, Matt? Not to give up what?
Yeah, if that's the weakness of the defense. Like if I'm playing, make the tackle the catch. Don't let nothing get behind you.
Exactly, and if they keep throwing that all game, I will change the call. Put you in that position.
That's what we used to say in Pittsburgh. Understand this, right? Most offensive coordinators, they don't want to do it that way. If you're playing off technique, they can hit you with stop routes all the way down the length of the football field, right? And convert them. But they don't want that. How many times when you guys watch football, any given Saturday or Sunday, right? The first play, they run the ball for 6 yards. It's 2nd and 4. 9 times out of 10, you should run the ball again. What they gonna do? They're gonna throw it. They gonna throw it.
They want a shot.
Offense, they don't want to do it. They're like, listen, if that's And you know this, Pat, you're a veteran. If you're playing off technique, unless you get a great 3-step read, you probably won't make a significant play on the ball unless it's a badly thrown ball or the rhythm might not be there.
Zone, so pressure's coming. The court,
but if they catch that hitch on you and you tackle the ball, that's a good, honest football play.
Hey, what that ref doing?
Yeah, okay, now it's 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6. But they don't want to do that way. They don't. If you keep everything in front of you, you will be successful more times than none. And that's what some people don't like. What are you doing? Man, listen, sometimes there's nothing wrong with being involved in a good, honest football play. It's a good offensive play, executed well, good play defensively, tackle to catch. And watching Dantzler, man, he played good football. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Good coaches understand. Listen, you're not gonna have 1,000 PBUs in one ball game.
Right.
It might. Your job is to be right 51% of the times.
Yep.
51%. If you right 51%, they're right 50. That means you are better than them.
Right. You won. No coverage. Compete. Compete.
Yeah, compete. It's the same thing in gambling. I just want to win 51% of my opportunities. If I do that, I'm always in the positive.
No doubt about it.
It's the same thing. Cam played good football, man. All I need from Cam when off season, I just need Cam to get in the weight room, get his buys and tries right. That's it. I just need him to get in the weight room, get his buys and tries right. He playing cold. Huh?
You know his nickname, huh?
What is it?
Needle.
That's fitting. That's fitting. We need to change that nickname, Cam, from needle to thermostat. You know, a thermostat is a little got more width than a needle.
We're gonna get Cam on. We're gonna get Cam on before the season over with for sure.
Man, yeah, change it from needle to thermostat. Thermostat got a little more width than a needle. Yeah, we go. Yeah, he just got to get his buys and tries right, Pat. People get them together. Get his buys and tries right, man. So his uniform can fit him a little more tight. But he played 2-7 played football. I like what I'm seeing out there. Now it needs to carry over.
Yeah.
Needs to carry over because he the guy now. Ain't no more subbing in and out. No, you the guy. And they gonna start
game before the game. I say, hey, you playing all game now. So get in your groove and let's be ready to roll.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And he did his thing. And now let's see, will it continue? And it will continue because this is what the mode y'all in. It's playoff time right now. Ain't no time to be playing around. Every game is a game 7. Rams preview. That's the next opponent. The Los Angeles Rams coming to Minnesota. Big time ball game. Both teams have a lot at stake. Both teams in the NFC. Who knows how this picture this weekend could factor into the playoff picture in a few weeks. Cooper Kupp, man, you've seen Cooper Kupp for some years playing out there in AZ. Prolific route runner. He's a football player that happens to play wide receiver. But now he's elevated his game to a whole nother level this season. How do you attack a guy like Cooper Kupp when you're covering him, Pat? And they move him around so much.
You move him everywhere. You pray. You literally pray because he can find the holes in the zones. They use him so well on the motions and stacks to where you really can't get hands on him, to where he's going to manipulate the leverages of the defender. So it's just basically option routes galore with him when he's in that.
Now, Pat P, break us down. Option route. I understand people say, well, it's an option, but take us through how difficult option routes can be when you're covering a guy who has options.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're a man-to-man and he's in the cut split on a stack, you pretty much want to kind of take away the outside release. So if the receiver sees that, he's going to try to, attack your outside release as hard as he can to get back inside because he knows that you're trying to take away his outside. So the receiver basically has an option to go off the DB's leverage. And, and that's what Cooper does very, very well. I mean, one of the best at it, far as when it comes down to, the option routes, the pivot routes, the unders, the overs. He just he does a great job of finding the holes and getting open. So, it's not a surprise that, he's one of the, I don't know if he's still number 1 in the league as far as yardage, but it's not surprised to see him, as a top tier receiver in this league for sure. Yeah.
And he's been balling. Matthew Stafford has been balling. Jefferson has been balling. And now OBJ. OBJ, how has it been seeing a rejuvenated OBJ out in LA? So heading into Tuesday's night's matchup against
Seattle.
OBJ has 15 catches for 204 yards and 3 touchdowns with the Rams.
Yeah.
OBJ week 3 versus Minnesota didn't do too much. 7 targets, 2 catches, 27 yards. Now we're starting to see a different OBJ. We're starting to see the OBJ that we all have grown accustomed to seeing. Right. And he's elevated this offense as well, especially with no Robert Woods. But man, that's your homeboy, college alum. Man, how does it feel seeing him back to himself back out in LA?
He just needed opportunity, opportunity, clear mind, a good situation for him. I don't know how true it is as far as with the turmoil between him and his quarterback, but it's tough to play good football when you and your quarterback can't get along.
You're talking about when in Cleveland.
Yeah, in Cleveland.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I know that can be, tough on a receiver and tough on him knowing what he can produce and what he can provide for the team.
Yeah.
So now being in a position, having this opportunity to come present itself for him, go out in LA, La La Land, and play with Matthew Stafford, who I always thought was a top tier quarterback in this league. Just happened to play for Detroit Lions. And, now he just seems happy, seems healthy. He seems into the game, he seems more involved. And it's good to see him, back in his happy place, on the gridiron, doing it. We all miss the Odell celebrations.
No question.
I don't want to see him when we play him, but
yeah.
Always something that's creative, something that's unique. So fans miss that, and to see him getting back into rare form, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and Pat, I didn't know this. You've never beaten Sean McVay before?
Mm-mm.
Oh, it's first time for everything. What makes him such a good coach, and what are the biggest keys in getting it done for the first time this weekend? Not just for you as an individual, but of course team. But having a career in that division, never beating him, this is a big one for you as well. So what y'all got to do to get it done?
Oh man, we definitely have to protect those guys on up front on their defensive front. We know they got guys that can get after the quarterback on both edges. Aaron Donald speaks for himself. So that's going to be a big task for the offensive line. We know Jalen lines up everywhere, so it's going to be a great matchup between him and Justin.
Yep. Yes, sir. Remember we highlighted that matchup during training camp.
Yeah. So that's going to be a great matchup. Hopefully we can get Adam back this week. On defense, as far as our offense facing their defense, I believe, slowing down, not letting their front four get involved in the game. As hard as that may sound and is, that's just something that we're going to have to do if we want to win this ball game. If it's going to come down to the nitty gritty, we cannot let those guys be active around Kirk. And on offense, their offense versus our defense, we can't give up any big plays. We know they thrive off that. And we can't let Matthew get going. We know once he gets in the groove, we know he can make all the throws. But once he gets hot, it's like some Aaron Rodgers type
question.
As far as the throws that he can make, just in those moments. It showed up in the Arizona game when they played. Was that Monday night or Sunday night? I can't remember.
That was Thursday night. Last Thursday night.
That was just a prime example of once everything's get rolling for him, it's pretty much lights out. So our hands are full on both sides of the ball, so we got to play a great complementary football this week. It's a very, very important game, not only because it's the next one, but far as if we want to go where we want to go, playoff implications, we have to win this game.
Yeah. All right. It's prediction time. For you guys that have been following the show, the last few weeks, I've been doing a great job in picking against the Vikings. And I think you guys are 4-1 when I pick against you. Yeah, 4-1, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that trend going. I'm taking the Los Angeles Rams. This score would be 26-24 in favor of the Rams. That's my score prediction. And like I said, if you haven't been following the show, I usually pick the Vikings, but I stopped doing it and they started winning. So fans say, hey, BMac, don't pick the Vikings ever again.
Don't pick them no more.
I'm picking the Rams to win 26-24. Let's see how close I can get. In other news coming from Minnesota, Pro Bowl reaction, Pro Bowl snubs. Pro Bowl is out. The three individuals from the Vikings that have made the Pro Bowl: Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Harrison Smith selected. Pat P, three outstanding players, man, who did a great job throughout the entire season for the Vikings, man. Thoughts on these players making the Pro Bowl? Were you surprised? Are there any notable snubs that you feel like should have been on this Pro Bowl roster as well? You got Cook, you got Jefferson, and Hitman.
Yeah. I thought that was those guys definitely was deserving of making it. I thought EK should have made the team.
Oh, yes. Big snub. Eric Kendricks. Yes.
Yeah, he's been playing some unbelievable football, and I don't think I've seen too many linebackers have the interceptions that he has. So, special talent. You know, he knows what he brings to the table, what he provides to this team, and I know he wanted to make a Pro Bowl this year. So hopefully we can get in the playoff and get a bigger ring.
Yeah, no doubt. Most importantly now, it's good to have everybody healthy.
Yep.
Good to have everybody healthy, man. So we're going to see exactly how this plays out and what type of motivation this will provide for EK, because I'm right there with you based on what he was able to do the entire season. Surprised to see Eric Kendricks not on the Pro Bowl roster, but shout out to Cook, Jefferson, Harrison Smith, all three former guests on our show. Being able to make it to the Pro Bowl, and they all need a Pro Bowl all of y'all need a Pro Bowl like performance this Sunday to keep your playoff hopes alive. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back with some notable news from the NFL, and we'll be answering your questions. Stay tuned. Now it's time to tap in around the league to see exactly what has been going on throughout the NFL. You guys understand paying attention to your TV, paying attention to your newspapers. COVID-19 is still impacting the NFL. We saw some postponements of ball games, rescheduling of ball games, the updated COVID protocols. Pat P, has your day-to-day life shifted over the past week based on some of the new news that they're doing when it comes to the protocols with COVID?
Nope. I did none of that stuff anyway. I literally go to the facility, take my babies to school,
and that's it. Yeah. And also the new protocols include vaccinated players screened more strictly, but tested less frequently. Unvaccinated players remain subject to daily testing. Games that were postponed, is it fair for players to move? Is it fair to the players that they move these ball games, or you think it's in their best interest? We saw the Raiders and the Browns move to Monday. Washington, Rams, Seahawks, Eagles moved to Tuesday. Eagles were probably the most outspoken team. They felt some type of way that the game was moved to Tuesday. They wanted to play. Darius Slay, friend of the show, we had him on a few weeks ago. If you missed that episode, it's clearly in our feed. He replied to a fan, "Dude, I just want the league to do right by us as players. Do you know how hard it is to play Tuesday, then turn around and play Sunday? We all as players want to be healthy, and at the end of the day, this game going to be here long after I'm done. I'm just trying to enjoy life after." Eagle safety Rodney McLeod said, "So we have to suffer and compromise our schedule because another team make mistakes. Make it make sense." Shaking my head. So basically, they feel like it's unfair to them because they've done anything they were supposed to do. Unfortunately, they had an outbreak with Washington, and they had to play on Tuesday and then turn right back around and play on Sunday.
Yeah. So Washington had the outbreak.
Yeah, I think they had the most players that were on the COVID list, like all the quarterbacks, D-line. It was a lot of people.
I'm not real familiar with the previous rule, but I remember them saying that they was going to cancel. No games were going to be rescheduled, right?
Yeah.
Due to say for instance, Washington wasn't able to play, and they forfeit the game because they said forfeit was going to be.
Yeah, that's what they said. But think about it. That's a divisional matchup. So
that's why they shouldn't even say that at the get. No games ain't gonna be rescheduled. Like y'all know, y'all ain't trying to miss out on no money on no national on no TV money. Come on, man.
Yeah.
No, y'all exactly. Y'all shouldn't even came out and be like, "Oh, ain't no games gonna." What they tried to do was scare players to get that thing on to get vaccinated.
Mm-hmm. It didn't work.
It worked.
Yeah, you did say it was gonna be no postponement of games. Teams would have to forfeit.
Yeah, they want.
So in this situation, if that stayed true, Washington would have had to forfeit.
Washington would have
the forfeit.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Eagles got a free victory en route for a playoff spot.
Right.
Eagles, they were like, man, listen, based on the rules.
When they said that crap.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. I forgot about that. Let's see exactly will they remix the rules anymore going forward. But yeah, clearly, man, you got to be careful best as possible because we know this current situation we're all in. In other news, Urban Meyer fired by the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Man, jeez,
it's just a matter of time, right? I guess no one's really surprised about that. Just a matter of time. Man, why don't you think why it didn't work in Jacksonville with Urban Meyer? What do you think?
I don't know, man, but
they said he kicked. Now Josh Lambo claimed that Meyer kicked him during warm-ups.
Man, I hope he didn't allow that man to kick him, man.
That was like, Josh, come on, Josh. You allowed the man to kick you.
Come on, man.
Intentionally, he kicked you, and now you speaking out on it.
I'm going to jail, bro. Like, I'm going to jail if that man had put his foot on me.
A man putting a foot on another man. Come on, man.
Man, I can't even say what I want to say, what I would have done to him. Man.
So check out the timeline of other bad stuff. He allegedly kicked Josh Lambo. They were 2-11. He called out coaches, said they were losers. He had the bar incident.
You hired him. He called them losers.
They call him high. He called the coaches losers.
That's a bad dude. I have some. Go ahead.
Chris Doyle, strength coach, that debacle, mishandling of Trevor Lawrence. He benched James Robinson at best running back. Then he signed Tim Tebow.
I'm telling that dude, bro. When I went through recruiting processes with Urban Meyer, bro, I didn't like him from the get-go. I just felt like a snake, man. It just felt like he was always trying to look out for his best interests. You know, it was just all about him. And there's some things happened, bro. I want to bring up, but it's happened 12 years ago, so I'm not gonna bring it up now. But
why not? I mean, you got free range too.
I don't want to bring it up.
You were in
now.
high school.
I was, but I don't want to bring it up now. But Urban knew what he did. He knew exactly what he did.
So it kind of that hindered you even strongly considering Florida?
No doubt about it.
So Florida had a chance to land Pat P, but something happened between the head coach that made Pat P look otherwise.
I ain't like the dude, bro. And it showed. And all this stuff is coming out. I was like, man, I'm so happy I did not go there.
Oh, yeah? Well, let's see what's next.
I was 17 and saw right through.
Yeah, you saw something a lot of people didn't see. Well, unfortunately, they looking for another head coach. Second year straight looking for a head coach.
They need to go get my boy Brian Leftwich, man. That's who they need.
They need to go get
Brian Leftwich. He been in the building. He know I think how many times Byron took them to the playoffs?
I'm not sure, but he was a first round selection in 2003.
Yeah,
he had real good years there.
Yeah, I think he took it to the playoffs once, if I'm not mistaken.
And I think B. Leftwich do a great job with the young quarterback, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, exactly. With him being a quarterback, doing what he did with Tampa with his first year being a second year being an OC.
Yeah,
not that Brady need any development anyway, but seeing how he was able to, communicate with Brady, how he was able to really have his handprint on the game plan. You hear so much about, Brady wants to do this, Brady wants to do that, or all the great ones. They want to do this, do that, but Brady give Byron all the credit in the world. What I mean? If Byron's names ever come up, in an interview with Tom, so I think he'll be a great candidate for that job, man.
Yeah, little feet B left is what we used to call him in Pittsburgh. Byron left once you wear like a size 7.
Yeah, man.
A size 8. How you 6'5" and you wear like an 8? We say we call him he got the cabbage patched feet. You remember the cabbage patch dolls?
Uh-huh.
Little feet B left, man, but B left is doing a great job, man. So I'm right there with you. In other news, a week ago, it was National Signing Day, the early signing day period. National news came out. Friend of the show, we had Travis Hunter on our show during the summertime. Flips from Florida State to Jackson State surprised everyone. They said a lot of potential NIL deals was involved in that flipping. We don't know. But how is NIL changing college football, Pat P?
I really don't, pay attention to, the NIL, to what college guys are signing for. So I don't really know
put it like this. Let me give you an example of some of the things that were circulating last week.
Okay.
So Auburn was getting ready to lose Tank Bigsby, who's their running back, pretty good running back. He's going to transfer. Allegedly, the word is Auburn told Tank, if you come back, we'll give you up to $300,000 in NIL like deals, basically $15,000 a month. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you think Tank still transferred? Meaning if he came back to Auburn, he get up to $300K in NIL deals. Do you think he left still?
Nah.
No, he ain't leaving. What? You telling me I can get what?
Yeah,
right?
Nah.
So you got other deals, guys were getting $50,000 here for signings, potential dealer trucks and dealer cars. And a lot of kids are basically making their decision on what they can get instead of making the decision on the best situation for you academically and athletically to be able to, get you to the next level. And that's what people are saying were tied in with the whole Travis Hunter situation. Now, we don't know the ins and outs, but that was the rumor. That was the speculation. But yeah, when it comes to the recruiting now, Pat P, especially if you're a 5-star, a lot of kids they're not going. I went to Florida State because I wanted to go to Florida State, right? But now in other situations, you might go to a university based on what they can provide for you.
Right.
And now some kids are going to situations based on what they can provide, not because that's where I really want to go.
And to answer your question, NIL is definitely changing the game there.
Oh, no question. What does it mean? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'm going to ask you, what does it mean for HBCU to be able to land a 5-star prospect, basically the best player in high school, to be able to go to HBCU school?
I think that's big. I think what HBCUs are starting to do a great job too are getting real credible head coaches in the HBCU circuit. I just saw Hugh Jackson just got hired at
Grambling. Yep.
Eddie George is at
Tennessee. No, Eddie George is at Tennessee State, I think.
Tennessee State. And you got Deion, and so they trying to put their program in the best position possible, so kids are making it more appealing for kids to come to their school, like having guys that play on the highest level at a high level, or guys that coach on the high level at a high level as well. That's been a head coach on a high level, because these kids are trying to get to that level. So why not try to bring in these coaches, these influencers, to guide these kids in the right way? And the things that the lessons and the values that Deion is giving these kids, these Power 5, head coaches can't do that. They can't provide that. They can't provide real life situations. They can't provide real game situations, because some of them never even played before. And you get some of the, the best, techniques, the best, knowledge that you can ever get from a guy that actually put the helmet on and played just like you.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely shocking. And at the end of the day, I want the players to go where they want to go, where they can get the best out of their situation. I know this much. A lot of people are mad at Deion in Florida State, because I was actually there during signing day. Ooh, they mad at prime time.
They're mad at prime. He's a competitor now. He's a coach.
They mad at prime. Yeah, they mad at prime. But Florida State should be okay. Hey, Pat, you know how people fans are, how the situation is, man. You know how it is. That's just how it goes sometimes. The cookie will
crumble. It just like everybody else.
Yeah. And now it's time to move on. And hopefully
that's a good question, though. That's a good question, because you saw that they say the Power 5 schools were giving, Deion crap about, grief about, how much you paid for him. We gave him money, this, that, and the other.
And Deion came out and said they don't have no money. They didn't give him anything.
Right. But
they came on homecoming and
so that, everybody thinks, like I know you said obviously don't go, where you don't feel the best situation fits for you.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's some great talent that came out of some HBCU, some Hall of Famers too.
No question. And hopefully T Hunter can be the next great one. And everybody's gonna be watching them. You know what I mean? So we're gonna see.
That's gonna be big, man. That's gonna be big for HBCU, man. I'm excited for them, man, to be able to get them on TV more, because there's so much great talent in the HBCU.
Pat P.
In college football. What up?
Do you think Deion will stay at Jackson State, or do you think he's trying to get another opportunity to go to a bigger university?
Honestly, I think he's gonna stay.
You do?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Bro.
No, I don't know. I think if a big blue blood come knocking on his door, heck, I wouldn't have been. I think he wanted to try to get that TCU job that opened when Gary Patterson got fired during the season towards the end of the season. Or the SMU job that's right in Dallas.
SMU would be big for him, but I think now that he got his boys at Jackson,
he'll bring them with him. You think he gonna leave them?
Nah, I don't think he's gonna leave right now. I think he'll let them finish up there because here's the reason why.
Oh, what you got?
Because all of the praising and all of the hard work that he's put in to get Jackson State where they are, he still feel like it's so much to be done. Like he talked about it last week, as far as the way they travel. He said they wanted to have them boys ride a bus ride all the way to Atlanta. He said we ain't riding no bus ride. We get on the plane.
Yeah,
we get on the plane. So I feel like he's not done in his. And I've been around Deion a long time to kind of speak for him on this. But I feel like if he sees something that his vision did not come in fruition all the way through, that means the job is not complete. Yeah. So that's why I don't see him leaving no time soon. I feel like Deion want to build something like Nick Saban at Alabama, win championship after championship for years and years and years to come, and be that household name, Coach Prime. Yeah. You know what I mean? He already making that known. And what better place than on an HBCU than to do it on a Power 5? Like I feel like he would get way more love, way more support at an HBCU than if he went anywhere else.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Because if he keeps winning, keeps recruiting like he's doing, you better believe.
They're gonna
come call.
They definitely gonna come. Yeah, I ain't gonna speak on that. But okay, yeah, they're
gonna come calling.
Yeah, they're gonna come calling for sure.
So let's see in due time. But shout out to Travis Hunter, friend of the show, making big time national news, going to HBCU Jackson State. Go out and ball out, young fella. Go out. I think he should play wide receiver.
I saw some of the clips. Whew.
Yeah, I understand he's the number 1 rated DB, but boy, he really, really special when he got the ball in his hand. So we'll see. Yeah. Now it's time to give out some awards. All Things Covered awards. We're dishing out 2 weekly awards for those that live up to our show name and have all things covered. Defensively, Lord have mercy. The Saints, they should play against Tampa every week. They'll be undefeated. The Saints defense shutting out Tom Brady.
Marching in.
Man, first time Tom Brady has been shut out. Pat P, that's the first time Tom Brady has been shut out at home. 6. Yeah. In 181 career home starts, regular season and postseason. It's the third time in his career Brady has been shut out, and the first time since 2006 against the Miami Dolphins. Man, the Saints had an unbelievable day. Taysom Hill didn't have to do nothing.
Listen, them boys up front for the St. Louis for the Saints.
New Orleans, yes sir.
Hey, I think this is the most I've seen Tom Brady get beat up since the first time they played the Giants in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Bro, every time he dropped back, somebody was touching his shoulder. Somebody was at his leg.
Oh, no question.
It was on his behind. And I think that was a difference maker for him because if you look at the game, they played a whole bunch of 2-man.
No question.
Number 2. Yeah. Robbers. They'll just let the front 4 guys up front just eat. And that's what
they couldn't block them.
They was getting after them, man.
They had fun. They were picking Tom off. They were making Tom run. They was making Tom fumble. They harassed Tom Brady, boy. And shout out to the Saints defensively. Offensively, we don't know how many times we can give an award to a Detroit Lion, so we're going to take advantage of it right now. Jared Goff gets the offensive award. Jared Goff loves to play against the Arizona Cardinals. Versus the Cardinals, this past Sunday, 216 yards, 21-26, completed 80% of his passes for 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He actually outplayed Kyler Murray. His second game this season with 80 completion percentage, 80 or more completion percentage. Each of the Lions' 2 wins came when Goff threw 3 touchdowns. So shout out to Jared Goff. He improves to 8-1 versus the Cardinals as a starter, winning the last 8 starts. So those are our 2 awards: the New Orleans Saints defense and Jared Goff, keeping the Lions relevant. Now it's time to keep you guys updated on what's going on. Swag is always important. All Things Covered merch is now available in the CBS Sports store. You can get your ATC hats, hoodies, tanks, water bottles, mugs, and much, much more. Just visit store.cbssports.com. The link will also be in the episode description. Get that holiday shopping done now.
That's it for this episode. Thanks to everyone for listening and watching. We'll be back again Thursday, where you can expect all things to be covered. Peace.